Hello, everyone. We are here today with Jen Goodwin. You might have heard a lot about Jen because she has been in the media a lot lately because she is a single woman. She's 32 years old, and she decided to go and have go to a sperm bank and get a sperm donor and I guess inject it. What's the proper term, Jen? Artificial insemination. And to be a single mom, she was ready and she was unmarried and didn't have anybody in her life. And she figured, you know what? I'm going to do it on my own. Now, some of you might think, well, hey, that's not that extraordinary. A lot of people do that. But in this case, it is a little bit more so because Jen happens to be a woman with a disability. And she had obtained this disability about 7 years ago in a boating accident. So she has a condition that's called quadriplegia. She actually broke her spinal cord in her neck. C6, correct, Jen? Oh, 5 and 6, okay. So it does affect the use of her hands. She's able to use an electric wheelchair. And you're going to learn a lot more about Jen in our article that we do about her. You're going to learn about how her plans for the baby, her support network around her, a little bit about her pregnancy. And also we're going to talk about what actually happened to her and that story, which is really a very dramatic and difficult thing to read about. But today we want to focus a little bit more on the more personal side of Jen. And I think it's better to hear her own words. Let her express to you how she feels. So, Jen, the first thing I think everybody wants to know is, you're going through all this, and it must be scary, and you must have fear. But let's talk about what it is that you're looking forward to most with this new baby coming.
I am just excited to get to hold him in my arms and finally see what he looks like, especially with not having really seen the dad. So it's really exciting to really see what he looks like, to finally get him in my arms.
So what are some of the things that you're looking forward to as a mother?
I'm just looking forward to having that bond and getting to go and experience all the things that I see all of my friends' kids to experience. And we've always been super close, so I hope that Beckham and I will have that kind of relationship as well.
That is a beautiful name, Beckham. How did you come up with that name?
Well, it's kind of a family name. My niece, Lily, is 5, and she told me that one of her friends' name was Beckham, and my mom's maiden name is Beck, and so it just kind of worked out that seemed appropriate and kind of
Beckham. So it's Beckam.
It's Beckam.
Okay, Beckham. That is a gorgeous name.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit then again about some of the things you fear, because obviously, we all look forward to motherhood, and I had 2 children myself, so I understand where you are and that desire, that innate desire, that burning to do that. And you're really showing a lot of women in our conditions that it's possible and that you don't have to have a man by your side, that you can do whatever you want regardless of your disability. So really, obviously, that's an amazingly courageous thing. That's why, your story is so powerful. But let's talk about some of the things that you actually are fearful of. I mean, do you have things that you think you think about at night when you go to sleep that you're trying to still work out in your head of how it's going to work out?
Well, right now, obviously, the big thing is how am I going to go through this delivery? So those questions are all up in the air as far as I'm going to have a regular delivery versus a C-section. And so those are questions that are more immediate. And then after that, the questions that are coming to me are, how will I chase after him whenever he's wanting to run around? And who will teach him how to ride his bicycle, hold on to the back of it and on the swing set, trying to get the swing set set up so that I can be out there with him and, be the one pushing him in his swing. And when he wants to run away from me, those sorts of things, those will all be obstacles. But my motto has always been, we'll figure it out. And so that's
as you go along
completely. So,
well, you obviously don't need a man to do all these things. And I mean, and then again, whether you're disabled or not, I think a lot of women are going to be inspired. We use the term inspired a lot when it comes to disability. And a lot of times people with disabilities are called inspirations because they do everyday things like having a baby or going to work or going to the store. Do you ever feel that the word being an inspiration to others can sometimes be a lot of pressure?
Sometimes, certainly. The everyday task, it's kind of like, well, of course I can do those things. But to me, what I like is whenever you're talking to other people that you really do feel like it inspired to try something new, to try something that they didn't think that they could do. So I like having that pressure to do those things. And then on the other side of it, it's like, it's not really inspirational to get out of bed every morning. It's just what we do and who we are. So that kind of a little weird sometimes, but I do enjoy being able to show people that they can do more than they think that they can, because I know that I can do more than I thought that I could in the beginning if I try.
It's amazing. I mean, where did you go to rehab, Jen?
Well, I did my initial rehab here in Little Rock at BRI, Baptist Rehab Institute, and then I went to Shepherd Center 2 separate occasions down in Atlanta.
So that made a really big difference in your life and how you feel like you're able to regain your independence and your confidence?
Oh, absolutely. Through all of the occupational therapy that we did there, and then as well as all the strength training. So, I mean, my initial goal was to get my arm high enough to scratch my own nose. And so to have come that far to where I'm, driving and living on my own and going to school and having a baby and all of those things, it's definitely come a long way from the very beginning.
Absolutely. It's only been 7 years, and you've already completed 2 years law school.
Yes.
And you're off on summer break, so that's perfect. Perfect timing for Beckham to arrive in the world.
Absolutely. It's very convenient of him.
I know. Thank you, law school, for giving me a break in the summer so I can have a baby and then be super mom and get right back to law school. So back to the whole inspiration thing. I mean, it's something that, do you ever feel as a woman with a disability that you're required to make other people feel comfortable with your existence, that you need to put on the happy face and that, hey, I'm okay, I'm happy, I can be happy, and it's not a tragedy to be me, and those kind of feelings? Do you ever feel that extra oomph that you have to work a little harder when people are around you to sort of put them at ease and make them not feel like they're uncomfortable?
Certainly, to some degree. And in the beginning, it was absolutely like that. I felt like I needed to be the one with a smile on my face for everyone else. I had to be the strong one in the room kind of thing, even though my family and friends were strong and they could have been there for me, but I felt like I needed to be the person. And now, honestly, most of that is natural and is completely true. I really do have a lot of joy and happiness right now. I just feel like everything is fantastic in my life right now, and never been happier or more content than I do feel like you're being watched. Like to put on that happy face whenever it is hard. Not telling people the things that are really, really hard. People don't want to hear everything that is hard too. So you do put on a happy face even whenever it gets hard. So
exactly. Well, I mean, it's something that when you are sad or you're having a bad day and you go out in public and you're not necessarily feeling like smiling, but I mean, to hear your story and to hear that you're the happiest you've ever been. Scott Rains, who's an advocate for people with disabilities out in San Jose, California, often said that to be an inspiration is really the most beneficial, and it feels the best to him when he is inspiring other people with disabilities, because we really understand what really is, and we're not just being inspirational because we exist, but when we're doing something like having a baby and going to law school and cooking, like my good friend Gina out in Arizona is like a quadriplegic too, and she's like a master chef. I mean, the things that we find out about on Facebook and social media now that people are doing, it really opens your eyes to what's possible. So so how does that feel to you? Do you have a lot of women writing you and saying, you've inspired me, other abilities?
Yeah, absolutely. That has been a huge benefit to it. I love getting to talk to those women and, see their plans and hear them say, oh, well, you told me that I can do this in a few years, whenever I'm ready for it. And honestly, I had the people before me that showed that to me. I have 2 women in Arkansas that I know of that have had babies, and they've been a huge support to me to see, okay, well, exactly what did you do and how did you do it and how are you managing with the babies now? And so they've been my inspiration, and so I just hope to pass that on.
So much easier today, and I know that you have come up with some of your own plans as far as accessibility in the nursery. You have your builder who built your house and made it. We're going to show those pictures of Push Living, but that same builder has created a changing table for you. Is that right? Did you hear me?
No, I did not. Sorry.
The same builder is who built your house, who built the renovations or the accessibility functionality of your home, has also come forward and is building a changing table for you. Is that right?
Well, actually, it's a new builder here for doing the nursery side of things. One builder built the original home, and now I'm adding on an entire new nursery area that Brandon will be building for me. And actually, that's why I'm outside today. He's inside with the nail guns and the compressors. So I did not want to stop that progress as he's working.
It's a little bit urgent at this point because you're due in a couple weeks, right?
I'm going to have him in 4 weeks. So 4 weeks from today, actually.
Scheduled induction. Is that how you're doing it?
Well, it's scheduled to be either an induction or a C-section. We're going to decide the week of just based on how far along I am and if I've progressed naturally, and we'll make those decisions then. So.
Oh my goodness! So you just had your baby shower, or do you call it a family shower, right?
Well, we had 2 different baby showers this weekend. One was a family shower and one was through my church, and it was such a blessing. We just got done going through everything again, just looking at all the new things. That's so much fun to play with.
Oh my goodness. I totally see it. That is such a beautiful story. I mean, thank you so much for being a part of this interview with us and being a part of Push Living and doing this and supporting another women with a disability as well. I think that that's really important for us all to do. And the social networks and the groups that we all belong to are, so valuable. So I really suggest that anybody who is wanting to be a mother, sorry about that, our internet connection died a little bit. Anybody who is wanting to be a mother or who is just in general wanting support, who has a spinal cord injury, we hope that they will reach out to us and comment on the article, and we can, let them know, maybe some of the places you have found that they can get advice, or some of the networking groups that we're a part of now. They're kind of hard to get into because we try to make them private so that, people who aren't people with disabilities or aren't women with disabilities can't get in. So we can talk privately among ourselves. So that's great. So lastly, everybody's going to want to know this, Jen. It's a question everyone wants to know. I know you're busy. But tell me about if you have a vision in the future. I mean, obviously, you said to me earlier, so I don't want to assume, but you did tell me that you are interested eventually in getting a man in your life and being married and having this person adopt Beckham, or to take Beckham and make him, give him a father figure. So I like the fact that you feel like you don't have to wait for that to have one without the other. That's wonderful. But tell me, in this stage of your life, what is the most important qualities in a man to you?
Quality in a man for me?
Yes, in this stage of your life. When you have a vision of what this man would be like and some of the characteristics he would have?
I just need someone that's strong, that is intelligent, that can stand up and be the man of the house, have a really strong personality, and so I want us to be able to go into this as equals, really, so that we can, face this world together, and wanting to have a sense of adventure and be ready to go and take on the world together. So I want him to love Beckham as much as he loves me and his child, and so that's what I'm hoping for in the future.
That is a beautiful vision. I can totally see that happening for you. And again, I know that you're going to have all your dreams come true, and we look forward to following this, and we'll do an update and show some pictures if that's okay with you, and Beckham comes along. And is there anything else that you want to share with us? I know that your video is a little slow.
It keeps cutting out.
Oh, okay. Hold 1 second. We'll get you back. Oh, a minute. You're coming back. But is there anything else while we're just recording? We can still hear you. Is there anything else that you want to share, or that you want to tell the women out there or the men out there who might be considering dating a woman with a disability about how not to be intimidated or afraid of some of these issues?
I just want to say that while things may be done differently, you can still have as much fun and still do pretty much everything. Whenever you go to the movie, you just might have to give me a piggyback ride to the top row. Those sorts of things. We just find ways to make it fun, but still open for adventure and ready to see what's out there.
So traveling and bringing Beckham along, world vacations is something that you can see in your future.
Oh, for sure. I'm a huge traveler, so I'm ready to go. I've got 2 flights booked for after Beckham's born already, so ready to go.
That is fantastic. Well, thank you, Jen. I'm sorry that the video cut out on us, and we still have your voice, and I'm sure that that's just as valuable to so many people. To find out more about Jennifer and a little bit more about her story, just go to pushliving.com. She'll be under the inspiration section of the website, and which makes sense because she is an inspiration to other people with disabilities, and she is just an inspiration, period. I don't care what anybody says about that. So thank you, Jen, for your time. I'm sorry I can't see you. Person. Okay. Take care.
That's okay.
Thank you for being here.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.